We're continuing our look in Job chapter 41 at some of the creatures that God has made. He has, what fascinates me in this particular chapter is unlike any other chapter in the Bible, the Lord sets apart one animal, an animal that we're not even sure what it is. And he showcases that animal in such a way that a whole chapter, 34 verses, is devoted to this animal, this creature, this fierce animal called Leviathan. In chapter 40, he had talked about the behemoth as being a great animal, but this one is even better in some ways. He's fierce. He cannot be captured. He cannot be defeated in battle. He cannot be domesticated. You can never make a pet out of the Leviathan. So we kind of left off there. Some have suggested this might be something like the T-Rex of ancient times, that even if this is after the flood, Noah brought on the ark with him animals of every kind. So he brought on the ark with him the dinosaurs. And even though maybe most of them died out at that time and others would die out soon after, perhaps still on Earth at this time are the dinosaurs. And if so, this might be a Tyrannosaurus Rex or something like that. But what fascinates me as we look at the description closer today is the description doesn't fit any dinosaur we have ever known or any mammal in history or today or any reptile. This is something different. And what it is questionable. We move into the area of guesswork, but again, it is fascinating. Some have seen some evidence of a dragon here. Now, when I say that, we have to distinguish the folklore, the mythologies, the cartoons, all that kind of stuff from reality. This dragon, if we want to call him that, is probably not exactly like the dragons that we see in mythology, but there could be a connection. Most of our mythologies have some connection in reality, just that reality has been lost in the stories, the myths, the times, and so forth as time has gone on. But there's something about this creature from the Word of God that is unlike any creature anywhere else. Let's take a look at some of the descriptions. In verse 14, who can open the doors of his face? Around his teeth there's terror. His strong scales are his pride, shut up as with a tight seal. So this animal has scales, so that eliminates a lot of the dinosaurs that did not have that type of scales. But even more fascinating, as we go down into the passage, is verse 18, his sneezes flash forth light, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning torches, sparks of fire leap forth. Out of his nostrils smoke goes forth, as from a boiling pot and a burning rushes. Now that sounds every bit like what we would think of a dragon that breathes fire and so forth. Now again, this description seems to fit that. That does not mean that all the descriptions we think of as a dragon today fit exactly parallel with this. But there could very well be some connection. There seems to be the ability of this animal to do something with fire, breathing fire in some way, smoke coming forth. This is not like any creature we know today or have ever really known in history, although we do have some of the mythologies that might point to something like this. So we don't know, but this fascinates me to even consider this possibility. He goes on to describe other things about the creature. We'll drop down to verse 33. Nothing on earth is like him. That seems to be true. One made without fear. He looks on everything that is high. He's king over all the sons of pride. This animal is fearless. And we could see why by looking at his description. And he's king over all the other animals. Nothing is like him. And yet, and again, this is the point, and yet God, the king of the universe, created this being. He might be without fear. He might be the greatest and the king over all of God's creation, but he's still underneath the thumb of God. Job needed to realize that. And as God ends his dialogue with Job here at this point, he is going to move on now to bring this all to a head into an application in chapter 42. We're ready for that, and we'll be looking at that tomorrow together.